Hi guys, welcome back to another Star Wars video. Today's video is going to be about Star Wars Episode 9 and what the news has been over the last couple of weeks. Unfortunately, I haven't been very well over the last couple of weeks, so I haven't posted anything. I did say in a previous video, which I called Star Wars The News Awakens, that I would post one every week, but unfortunately I just don't think I've got the time to do one every week. I'll try my very best to do it when news pops up, but over the last couple of weeks I haven't been able to do that, so I'm just going to go over what Star Wars news that we've had over the last 2 weeks and see if we can catch up with anything that's new that I've put on my list. So basically, a couple of weeks ago we got the first casting news from Disney and Lucasfilm. So the same people that was in The Force Awakens and Return of the Jedi, The Last Jedi will be returning, and that will be Daisy Ridley, Adam Driver, Oscar Isaacs, John Boyega, Kelly Marie Tran. I'm quite surprised that she's returning after the really bad feedback that she got from Star Wars fans. I think it's just like disgusting how people act about things like that, about racial things. I really enjoyed her character. I thought she was brilliant, and she's such a sweet person. I mean, I can only go from interviews and you know, red carpet stuff that she's done, but I really felt sorry for her because she had to come off social media because of it, and there's just no need to. And I'm surprised that she's come back, unless she's contracted to come back. I assume they are, because I think most of them would have had to sign a 3-movie deal. But I do feel sorry for her in that respect, and I'm glad she is back, because it's a big FU to the people that didn't like her and so mean to her. So she's coming back, which is absolutely brilliant. I can't pronounce his name, but Domhnall Gleeson will be coming back as General Hux. And then we have some new actors. I say new, but new to the Star Wars universe. Naomi Ackie, Richard E. Grant, who's a veteran actor who's been doing stuff for a long time. With Neil and I is probably his most famous movie that he did in the 80s. A lot of people are thinking that he could be Thrawn, which would suit him down to the ground. I think that would be absolutely amazing. They seem to be pushing him in the Star Wars universe quite a lot recently with the books and putting him in Rebels. So to have him back, I think a lot of Star Wars fans would be absolutely overjoyed with that one. Kerry Russell is coming back as well. I say she's coming back. She was announced, rumoured to be in Star Wars, but there was nothing official about it until now. Kerry Russell is from Mission Impossible 3. That's the only one I know that she's been in personally that I've seen her in, but she's obviously been in loads of other films. And we've had obviously a big announcement. Billy D. Williams will be coming back as Lando Calrissian, which is great news. So what I've been doing is, when I've been seeing news pop up here and there from movie websites and Twitter and that sort of stuff, I've just made a note each time I've seen something that's come up that sounds pretty interesting about Episode 9. So there's been a sighting of Kylo Ren and Luke and Rey being filmed in front of green screen at Pinewood Studios, where they film the Star Wars movies. So that's an interesting one, and people are saying it's been put on green screen, possibly because Luke's a Force ghost. Special effects wise, I don't really know how that works, but I guess it kind of makes sense if that is the case. So that's very interesting. I mean, Mark Hamill's returning as well, which did I say that in my original? No, I didn't say that in my original list. But Mark Hamill's returning, and obviously Carrie Fisher as well, which I'll come back to in a second. There's also been a sighting of Kylo Ren, who is played by Adam Driver. He's been seen actually on the Millennium Falcon piloting it. So again, that's another interesting thing to discuss. Why is he piloting the Millennium Falcon? Has he become good at some part of the film, or has he taken over the Millennium Falcon? Has he somehow stolen it or something? Not too sure on that one. Again, none of us are going to find out for another 2 years. Well, December 2019. They've slightly changed the date here and there, and I think it's now the 14th of December, possibly, the next date for the movie. It is good that they're spacing the movies back out again, because Solo didn't get its chance it deserved, because it got brought out literally 4 months after The Last Jedi, which was really unfair because it was such a great film. It really should have been brought out at December 2018, to be fair. I would have been quite happy to look forward to that movie and wait to the end of the year, because it just breaks up a bit. That means we get a Star Wars movie every year, and I think 12 months is quite a long time to wait for a film each time. So I think that breaks it up pretty well, personally. So there's also a discussion about Kylo Ren and Rey seen on Snoke's throne room, where Kylo Ren tells Rey that her parents are nobody and they're just sort of average people, low-lifes, drunks, whatever. I think he's trying to make it out that they're basically nobody, and sold Rey for drinking money, etc. And I think it's basically put JJ story line completely out when this was done in The Last Jedi. Apparently JJ actually had an idea for Rey's parents to go through all 3 films, and it's been changed. So I mean, the way that Kylo Ren said it, to be honest with you, it might not actually be set in stone. It might be something that he just wanted to lie to her about, so she would feel emotional and want to go along with Kylo Ren, because he said that he wanted her to go with him. That's just my personal opinion. So it might not be set in stone. So that scene can be changed in episode 9. They could basically come up with, he was lying. There is, a certain forceful parents with the Force, that sort of stuff. So again, that's to be explained in the next one, obviously. So I will look forward to seeing that. I've also seen that Carrie Fisher, who plays Princess Leia, might have a bigger role than previously stated. It's now been brought up that Carrie's footage from The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi will be used in the new movie, so suggesting that she's going to have a bigger role. Again, I keep thinking in my mind what scenes that they filmed that they could have used, but if they're cut scenes, then it might have even been a different part of the story about a different subject, perhaps, that they can still use, which is great, because it would be so sad not to have Carrie back again. She is part of the Star Wars story, and not to have her in the very last movie of the Skywalker saga would just be awful. They have announced that is the final episode of the Star Wars saga, episode 9. I personally am okay with that. I don't think that they should drag it on anymore. I think George Lucas originally said that there was going to be 12 films originally, and I just think that's possibly a bit too much. If they made 7, 8 and 9 in the 80s, after Return of the Jedi was made in 1983, and then kind of made the next one in 85, the next one in 87, and then episode 9 in 1989 or something like that, and then they had them when they were all young, and it was a completely different storyline, and they went on from episode up to episode 12 in the 90s or something like that, I'd be okay with that. But the fact that they've jumped a massive leap, 30 years in the storyline, from Return of the Jedi to The Force Awakens, and they're all a lot older now, and they kind of just want to finish all the characters off by killing them off slowly. I kind of just prefer it, just the Skywalker saga to end now at episode 9. I think without those characters, without them being younger, I just don't really see the point of the that saga going on any further, to be honest with you, and to have it without Solo, Luke, and Leia, there's just no point. There'd be no Skywalkers in there anymore, so it wouldn't be a Skywalker saga. I don't know how that they would follow on the movies with Rey, Finn, and Poe, and the new cast. They would have to call it something else, possibly. But it'd be weird because it would get confusing. It wouldn't be episode 1 and then something else. They would have to do something different. They'd probably have to give each movie a different title without having an episode in there, I guess. But that's just my thoughts. People are also speculating, when are we going to get a new Star Wars trailer? So it will obviously be the teaser, but people are speculating that it's going to be November this year. I mean, they've already started filming, which they started filming a couple of weeks ago. Anthony Daniels, I believe, tweeted the first tweet about filming. He basically tweeted first day on set, and that was on the 2nd of August, I believe. Also, John Boyega has sent a Instagram picture on his account of him doing martial arts training. There's a scene which I'll post now, jumping up in the air and doing like a backwards kick, which looked really awesome. So it looks like Finn's going to have a bigger part in the movie this time. I didn't feel like he had... he had a good amount of time, but I would have liked to have seen him a bit more action roles in The Last Jedi. But this time it looks like he's going to have something a bit more action-packed by the sounds of it. He's also got a new haircut. He's got like longer hair now, so I'm assuming that it's going to be a good couple of years, or a year or two at least, from the last movie. It doesn't look like they're going to finish it straight from where that scene was, like they did with The Force Awakens to Last Jedi. It looks like it's going to be at least a year or two later on. And there's also been an Instagram picture with the first day of shooting, and kind of a cryptic shot. There was a picture of Finn on the Falcon in like a cool waistcoat by the looks of it, and someone he's actually talking to. Now that's the cryptic bit, is that none of us can actually see who it could be. Because of he's wearing like a white or possibly cream top, or beige top, I would say it might be Poe Dameron possibly flying the Falcon at that point. It looks like he's wearing the shirt that he wore in the previous movies, that Han wore in Empire Strikes Back, the white shirt with the collar coming down. It kind of looked like that, so it could be Poe, unless it's all going to surprise us and that's Kylo Ren and he's dressing differently and he's now a good guy, but we don't know who is he going to fight against if he's no longer the villain. Spoiler alert, Snoke's gone, so there's no way that they're fighting against Snoke. A speculation, just at a guess, it's quite possible that Richard E. Grant is the new villain, and he might be Thrawn, and he might be coming back to take over from Snoke, and the whole story completely change altogether, and Kylo could side with Rey and Poe and Finn, and he could join forces. I mean, that would be a massive twist, and it would be great. I actually thought that was going to happen in Last Jedi, and I was actually really, really happy when that amazing fight happened in the throne room. So that is all I have at the moment. I will try and post videos more. If you're interested, please join me. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you like the videos, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.